Know the vibes. Listen, man, we in this bitch, man. Very great morning. Just wanted to come in here and touch on a few points for some news from approximately about 2 weeks ago. Um, as well as to be able to discuss Ryan Garcia and the change of the fight date for the Ryan Garcia versus Rakia Ampo exhibition match. Um, I just want this to be over with Ryan Garcia as far as this exhibition match. I don't like the fact that his cheating ass get the fight. I want him to actually clear up a suspension and get back in the game and possibly give Devin Haney a rematch. Now I don't think that it's gonna work that way because he just want to run with the fact that he made him look bad. But at the same time, it doesn't really look as bad to me because at the end of the day, Ryan Garcia tested hot. So love him or hate him, be a fan or not, but tell them to win with clean piss. That's all I'm requesting. Win with clean piss. But we gonna get into it more, man. I'm passionate about people going into sport and winning fair and square. Literally, people are still saying Ryan Garcia won fair and square, but he failed 2 drug tests, and then they want to try to turn into fake ass scientists by stating percentages that they read on the paper. Hot is hot. I don't give a fuck if it's 5%, 2%, 3%. It's still hot. But we definitely gonna get into that. Because again, I don't fuck with cheating in the sport. And to tell somebody to handle it like the old school fighters, I see old school fighters all the time that pay heavy dues to the game and they have nothing to show for it right now. And this is not a discredit to them. Shout out to them and what they did for the sport. But at the same time, this is the years and the times that boxers should be more educated. Otherwise, they're going to leave a lot of money on the table and they're forever going to be mistreated in the sport of boxing simply because they don't have knowledge or information or how to go about it or how to get a lawyer to set up a situation to where they can sue somebody because they're able to backtrack and understand that money was put in a pipeline that they should be getting compensated from, but they weren't. So all of that just be a gladiator shit. You don't necessarily gotta be a gladiator and ignorant. You could be a gladiator and still be educated, in my opinion. Uh, now don't get me wrong. When people are educated, they don't necessarily tend to lean towards being a gladiator. But I want fighters to be smart. I'm pro fighter. If you willing to get in that fucking ring and do what you got to do, I want to see you be successful, and I want to see you be able to maximize and get all your money. And this is why I fuck with somebody like the likes of Andre Ward. Him and his wife realized they left thousands on the table, hundreds of thousands, by them sitting down all night and reviewing contracts, only to realize that the network didn't pay him bonuses for this, that, and this. Imagine if he was a more traditional boxer that was strictly a gladiator and he was cool with getting fucking robbed. I'm not. I'm just not for it, man. So, in the case when it comes to Devin Haney suing Ryan Garcia, handle your fucking business because when your faculties ain't all there because you gave so much to the sport of boxing, it ain't gonna be no promoter or nobody that's really gonna step up and take care of you unless you are a special fucking case. In the case of who is that? The Richard Collin kid that got hit in the back of his head to the point of him being special. Yeah, Al Heyman took care of him. But how many boxers who left the sport with all their faculties but just fuck their money up? They're not getting taken care of. In boxing, you just as good as your last fight. So, you know. But how y'all feel about this Ryan Garcia Rakia Ampo fight being pushed back? And you know, Nahir Albright was criticized a couple weeks ago for saying that Abdullah Mason Chin is questionable. People talk shit, they pull up his box rack, they say he don't have a bunch of knockouts. Cool. You know what I mean? But y'all not taking in consideration that he still possibly could knock somebody the fuck out because he know how to punch. You get what I'm saying? Look what happened with this kid with Jaime Mugia. This is a clear example. Jaime Mugia looked at that man record, right? He was handpicked to beat him. The kid only had five knockouts. He like, all right, cool. I can walk him down. He ain't really gonna hurt me. He ain't got that much pop. Mugia drop him and everything. Only for this kid to come back and knock him the fuck out. And it's a bunch of people that's trying to spread propaganda per usual and make it seem like the stoppage was premature. It wasn't. They showed a different angle of Jaime Mugia face, and dude was fucking gone, bro. It is what it is. The shit come with the game, man. They boxing the little ass gloves, man. Everybody dangerous in them little ass gloves. Even if they tell you the person don't got no knockout power like that, or they don't got no power, because I know some people y'all fantasize on it. Anything could happen in the sport of boxing, bro. You are still in a fucking war. This is not one of those things to where it's for play. This ain't no NBA shit or none of that. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Hopefully Mugia keep all his faculties and all of that. He be able to come back and bounce back. After taking that loss to Canelo, and then finding somebody that's like definitely under you with the intent to try to put on a show or outdo them, only for you to get stopped in front of your people. It's fucking nuts, man. That guy's gonna become a superstar, and hopefully he capitalize off the opportunities and make the best, for his people and things of that nature. But talk to me, man. How y'all feel about that Jaime Mugia fight, bro? Was that shit crazy? Did anybody win any money? You get what I'm saying? I didn't even look at tickets. I didn't even look at tickets for that Jaime Mugia fight. After seeing that, I wish I did. You get what I'm saying? Cause that shit was crazy. Super upset. I know Bob Aaron was turning over his goddamn sleep having nightmares, man.
In real life is something that I'm gonna cherish for the rest of my life.
Yeah, man, that kid Bruno. Yeah, man, great knockout, man. I bet people will respect his pop a little bit more. We gotta stop spreading that propaganda shit. What's good, bro? We gotta stop spreading that propaganda. Going to look at somebody's box rack and help us determine if that person got pop or not, bro. Cause realistically, man, a good shot is a good shot, man. A good shot is a good shot. It just comes down to the setup, and it comes down to how his opponent approach it. And in the case of Jaime Mugia, bro, he felt comfortable. He's like, I already felt this dude power. He can't hurt me. And the shots you don't see hurt the most. The shots you don't expect hurt the most, because you're not tensing your body up like that. Then I made a post yesterday to where I shared the clip. It's under my shorts, right? You guys can go check it out. And I basically said that I ruled the Ryan Garcia Devin Haney fight a draw. And the reason that it was only a draw is because Ryan Garcia lost the point. Ryan Garcia dominated in 4 rounds throughout the fight. Clearly dominated. When he dominated, he dominated. I'm not taking that away from him. What he did is what he did. But realistically, Devin Haney was carrying the most ring generalship, had the most control, had the better counter shots, you know what I mean, throughout the fight in reference to the numbers of counter shots. And I just felt like he had more control. It's just that he don't have the same power as the other kid, bro. The damage is a factor, but it's not the only factor that you pay attention to in a professional fucking boxing match, man. And that's what I need people to realize. It's 8 different factors that they legitimately use to keep track of score. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, we got to look at all 8 factors, not just the pieces and bits that we like. It's not. I never really watch. I watch fights as a fan, but then I also watch fights with a more educated eye. I turn the fucking sound off and I see what the fuck is going on for my own, because I want to be able to think on my own. I realize people typically go with whatever the news tell them, whatever the highlights tell them, instead of really looking at the whole layers and being able to determine it for themselves. Now, them giving Ryan Garcia the win, I understand. But me seeing it as a draw is not fucking crazy if one of the judges had a 112 too. As well as one of the commentators had an unofficial boxing card of 112. So all of that coming in my comments and talking shit to me on Instagram and making it seem as if I'm just pulling this shit out of thin air, there's no way it's possible, is letting me know that you can't stop and think on your own. You can only go off what your heart feel. And I don't judge boxing like women. I don't. And this is not a disrespect to women. This is just they're emotional creatures. They tend to feel a certain way, and then that determines how their brain go into shit. I use my eyes and I let it go to my brain first, and I try to digest it based off what I see. You get what I'm saying? Other than that, you ain't got to fuck with my opinion. You ain't gotta like it. I'm not begging you to even watch the shit. You get what I'm saying? But stop trying to make it seem like I'm crazy because it's a professional boxing judge that scored it the same exact way that I did. Then we had somebody else give Ryan 115, 109. If you only won 4 rounds, how the fuck is it 115 versus 109? Are you giving them double of the points for knockouts? You get what I'm saying? But again, to each their own. Uh, Overall, they put on a great show. Ryan ended up testing hot any fucking way. And I feel as though if he can provide clean pits for the rematch, we may see a different fucking outcome. And this is not me being biased. This is me being serious. Because at the end of the day, you had to use something to help you cut weight. If you got to use something to help you cut weight, it means you have a better camp versus you not using it. If it's something that you're not supposed to have in your system. It just is what the fuck it is, bro. I didn't swap the ball piss out. I didn't tell him to do that. That's what the fuck he wanted to do. And it's corny. Because why do you gotta cheat if you already training like you're supposed to? But it is because he wasn't training like he was supposed to. He wasn't. And the whole world seen that he wasn't training like he was supposed to. And this is fuck all of that. He a Devin Haney fan. Nah. I'm a fan of clean boxing. That's what I'm a fan of. That's my priority. Hey man, fight week for Usyk versus Tyson Fury. How y'all feel about that? Who you like? Let me know. Ultimately, I am going with Tyson Fury again. The first time he was playing around in front of a dangerous Usyk, and it ended up just not going his way. But I feel like this time he's going to take him a lot more serious. And I also feel like he's going to come in a little bit more in better shape. Even though skills pay the bills, he got the skills without the fucking body. Tyson Fury is a dangerous opponent. Whether we love him or hate him, we seen him stop one of the most dangerous men in heavyweight, in Deontay Wilder. And I feel like the sky is just the limit for that guy. I'm a fan, and I'm gonna stay a fan. Uh, but who y'all like, man? Usyk, Tyson Fury. Then last week, we covered Vladimir Klitschko being making a comeback, possibly, and apparently he has a date coming up. After this, I believe he's gonna fight Daniel Dubois for the IBF if he looks good. He's 48 fucking years old, man. I'm wondering how this gonna turn out, man. Does his body be able to kick in the gear? Does his body kick in a different gear like he used to in order for him to be able to engage at a such high level? You get what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Y'all gotta let me know. Ultimately, I would like to see Daniel Dubois fighting. Am I giving Daniel Dubois all the credit in the world for beating Klitschko? No. Uh, but at the same time, it's still a good hat. It's still a good name to have under your record. A little washed up, a little old, but it's heavyweights, and you can stay in heavyweights at a higher age rate versus the smaller weights. The more body fat you got on your body overall, and the more muscle mass, the longer you can handle taking a beating in the sport of boxing. So yeah, man. I mean, that's just how we coming, man. But yeah, Nahir Albright versus Abdullah Mason. Y'all gotta let me know how y'all feel about that. I believe if you really pay attention to Nahir Albright, especially on Top Rank, we see him hit Keyshawn with a shot that we never seen nobody else hitting with. Personally, I don't think nobody would hurt Keyshawn at the level that Nahir Albright did unless it's Gervonta Davis. And I think Gervonta Davis, Keyshawn Davis is a 50-50 fight. A lot of people get pissed off when they hear that, but y'all got to hear me out. If we're actually paying attention to skills, they have the most comparable equivalent skills in the sport of boxing at 135 pounds. What do I mean by that? Tank got good feet. Keyshawn got good feet. Now Tank has great power, but Keyshawn has good power. Keyshawn can fight people. Tank can fight people. Keyshawn can box backwards. Tank can box backwards. Keyshawn could box on the front foot. Tank could box on the front foot. So just a variety pack. Yes, Tank has a little bit more experience, but we got to take in consideration that Keyshawn amateur career is above average, which means he has fought on some of the biggest platforms in the world, being a silver medalist. Andy Cruz want to fight him, but personally, I think rather than moving backwards, he needs to move forward. While risk possibly even losing if it's not for a big ass check. If I'm going to lose, I would rather lose to Tank Davis than Andy Cruz. And to be honest, I don't even think Andy Cruz ready for him in the pros. The amateurs and how you approach that versus the pros is two different fucking ball games, bro. It is two different game plans. And Cubans run the Olympics and shit like that. They run amateur boxing. Anybody that know boxing know that shit. But with them 8 ounces on, it's a little bit different. And this is me not discrediting Andy Cruz. He trained under Bozy Ennis, bro. One of the best in the world by far. And on top of him being the best, he is one of the most humbling, get down straight to business type of men. So it ain't nothing but respect. Every time I go in that gym, because I'm in Philly, Bozy in Philly right now, Andy Cruz in Philly. Every time I go to that gym, it's mad love. You get what I'm saying? From Bozy Ennis, from Jerron Boots Ennis. You get what I'm saying? So I'm I'm excited to see what the fuck is gonna happen next. And just to let you guys know, anybody that view me who not really here, I don't really go live like that in the mornings. I may do it sporadically, but 6 p.m. Eastern time, I go live every single day. Uh, Rather if we have an open discussion on StreamYard, or I just invite somebody and we go back and forth about, our perspective of how we visualize what's going on in the sport of boxing. But I am active every single day. Um, and ultimately, I just want to make ultimately quality content that we all can have fun from and be able to talk our shit. On my platform, you entitled to your own opinion and perspectives. I would rather have people who have their own viewpoint of boxing than people who have the same viewpoint as everybody else. This is not a fucking echo chamber. You get what I'm saying? So no matter your understanding of boxing, advanced, great, subpar, man, you can come in here and share your thoughts. You get what I'm saying? And that's just what we gonna do. You get what I'm saying? Every single day, 6 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, man, I think Nahir Albright, Abdullah Mason. I think that's actually a fight, and I actually got Nahir Albright being able to edge it. We see Abdullah Mason beat on people who are a little bit more available than Nahir Albright would allow himself to be. And rather, if people understand he's beat Olympians, he went to war with Jermaine Ortiz, didn't necessarily get the win. With Keyshawn, he started off a little bit too late. Keyshawn got the win only for him to test positive for marijuana and they get ruled a no contest. So, like, he has experience, man, being on just like higher level platforms. And I just feel like with Abdullah Mason and him being in top rank, it's kind of dangerous at being at top rank because what they do is build you up. But then when you start to get in front of people who can actually do damage back, you kind of look different because you're just not used to it. We've seen this with Jared Anderson versus Charles Martin, and then we really seen it, versus Martin Bacoli. Great fighter, looks spectacular against people who don't belong in there with him. But what happened when you get in front of people who can actually get shit done? Now Abdullah Mason is a dog. We seen him drop. He got up. He stood on business. Shout out to Abdullah Mason. You get what I'm saying? But I understand the skill set of Nahir Albright, and I just feel like he just brings a different package to the table. Especially with dealing with power punchers who are trying to come in with not necessarily a lot of defense, but just, they just pack a punch. So Nahir Albright, Abdullah Mason, I got Nahir Albright edging it. Even if he were to fight, which I know they're not gonna let happen, him fight Keyshawn Davis again. This is the only person outside of Tank Davis that I feel as though may give him work because he understands the type of package that Keyshawn Davis brings, as well as he understands what he need to do. If you go back and watch that Nahir Albright versus Keyshawn Davis fight, the only flaw Nahir Albright really had was he started off late. You get what I'm saying? He started off really late. But what happens when Nahir Albright started the same pace as Keyshawn Davis? Like, what will we see? Especially with him being a fighter that was in a ring with them already. This is not a guy that's not used to Keyshawn. If you're not used to Keyshawn, it's hard for you to go in there and just whoop his ass. But if you kind of used to him, you get what I'm saying? Like, what do we expect then? So yeah, I am super excited, to see what's in store for the future of Nahir Albright. He tried to get a fight at the Wells Fargo, but he got ducked by the Ernesto kid. They end up trying to fight a fighter who came in 10 pounds overweight that didn't fight in the Wells Fargo. Ernesto recently, I hope I'm pronouncing that kid name right. He's from California, and he recently announced that he's going to be fighting Pedraza. So shout out to him and Pedraza. You know what I mean? I believe he's 14-0. And getting a world champion on his record right now would be lit. Speaking to people who are 14-0, Jaleel Hackett. Jaleel Hackett was not fucking robbed, people. What we gotta stop doing, and it's us a bunch of you casual fans. It ain't you people who actually dedicated and want to listen to somebody spit the science of boxing. It's the motherfuckers that don't know what's going on, right? And they just want to be a part of the conversation. Jaleel Hackett wasn't robbed, bro. He was outboxed. Nobody's gonna stand there and let a kid who's not using his jab pin them down and him just beat him the fuck up. If they're flat-footed, Jaleel Hackett will have his way with them. But he did not use the jab effectively. The rounds that he did use the jab effectively, honestly, was round 8 and round 9. Those rounds right there, hey, listen, he got wicked. He was standing on business. So, honestly, I feel like Jaleel Hackett gotta go back to the lab, bro. It's either that or he may need to consider altering his team a little bit. Because go back and watch that fight. If you doubt what I'm saying, watch that fight and ask me. I mean, overall, compare round 8 and round 9 jabs to the amount of jabs that he threw throughout the whole fight. I tried to look for the CompuBox numbers last week. I couldn't find them. I'm gonna try to look again, and I'm just gonna make a video of me just comparing the numbers. The shit was horrible, bro. Hey, but with that being said, I just wanted to talk a little bit of shit and cover a little bit of news. I'll be back on here at 6 p.m. Eastern time, man. Y'all have a blessed day, man. Be safe. Have fun, man. Don't hurt nobody.